Okay, welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub. And we have set the target of completing 200 book summaries in the entire year. On this journey, we are here on the book number 53. And the name of the book that we have today is welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub. And we have set the target. I need to open the screen properly. The name of the book that we have today is What is Life? Written by Erwin Schrödinger. You might have heard about this person in your physics notebooks or in your science notebooks. Let us listen from the Erwin Schrödinger, What is Life? The targeted audience of this book is the 30-year-old scientist who is fascinated by quantum physics, the 35-year-old person who is curious about the world and has a passion for science. This book is for those who love about science, a 65-year-old retired person who wants to learn about the fascinating aspects of life from a scientific point of view. So this book is all about scientific point of view and has the time for it. Let us see the small synopsis of this book. What is life? It comprises a series of lectures given by the notorious physicist Erwin Schrödinger and is a compelling research on how science, especially biology, chemistry, and physics, account for on the ongoing process that the human body undertakes to simply exist and live. Let us listen from the author, Erwin Schrödinger. Consciousness cannot be accounted for in physical terms. For consciousness is absolutely fundamental. It cannot be accounted for in terms of anything else. So consciousness is absolutely fundamental and it cannot be accounted for any physical terms or anything else. The author says that life is a miraculous thing. Throughout the history, many scientists, religious leaders, and essentially all human beings have tried to come up with logical reasoning to explain what is life. Fast forward to the current days, people are still debating its origins and evolution in time. Yet we have discovered a few key aspects about it that can help us conduct the research moving forward. A small review of this book, What is Life? This book explores the idea of life from a scientific point of view and presents an easy-to-follow perspective on human evolution. By merging years of research with some aspects of Darwin's theory, quantum physics, and his famous lectures, Erwin Schrödinger manages to conduct thorough research on this intriguing subject. He had conducted research on what is life. Reading this book will widen your perspective on life overall, how the brain works, why atoms are spectacular in the way they function, quantum theory, and many other fascinating aspects. However, once in a while, a genius like Erwin Schrödinger comes up with something remarkable and sheds some light on some of the humanity's biggest questions. His comprehensive lectures on how our mind, matter, and consciousness are interconnected now summed up under What is Life, which offers valuable insights into the scientific side of life. Before going further, I request you to have water. Keep yourself hydrated. Here itself, my water bottle is there. Take digital notes or physical notes of the lessons. Let us move on to the top 3 lessons. Here are the top 3 lessons from this book. The first lesson is atoms behave in a disorderly way until they bond and form special connections. If you remember the water, ice, and gas, just now I explained about the water, right? So in the ice form, the bonds atomic will be bonded together closely. In terms of water, the molecules will be spaced a little bit. In the gaseous form, you will see lots of space. As you know, all these things, atoms behave in a disorderly way until they bond together and form special connections. The human species evolved by making infrequent leaps forward and mutating itself. And the third lesson is consciousness is the most elevated mechanism humans have, and it functions in a remarkable way. Although these lessons does not make much sense now, as we dig deeper or dive deeper into them, they will become more clear and reveal quite interesting insights every now and then. Let's go and interrogate what are the three lessons saying to us. Let us see the lesson number 1. Atoms define our world and they function in a remarkable way. Everybody might be heard about atoms, but what are they really? Essentially, they are the tiniest part of any surrounding thing. Even if you take paper, even if you take pen, even if you take water bottle, they are the tiniest part of those things you can get your eyes on, and the way they function is not anything short of outstanding. Even though they are tiny, they are doing much more work than us. Just think about it. Everything you touch, you see is made of atoms. They don't have much relevance if you take them one by one. If you take one by one atom, you will not see that importance. But if the atoms together, they form our world. This is a powerful lesson I learned. So atoms don't have much relevance if you take them one by one. But if you take them together, they form your world. Although they don't really follow an orderly way of functioning, nor any physical laws alone, once they get together in little clusters or molecules, they change their behavior according to their statistical law. In other words, atoms start following rules and change their orientation as a group. They have also their own rules and protocols. Like in our government, we have set of rules and protocols. Their group defines what form they will take and what is their purpose. If two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen combine together, we are having water. Or if suppose one molecule of sodium and one molecule of chloride combining together gives salt, all these things comes under grouping in different formats. And if they form in the different groups, they serve as a different purpose. To influence the overall behavior of organisms and follow a specific direction as an average, atoms must form huge groups. Still, tiny groups can have a significant influence. The most relevant example is a group of just a few million atoms forming a gene, which in turn is a part of a chromosome, means which is the root cause of our body birth. So a few million atoms combining together to form a gene, and which is in turn is a part of chromosome. Genes play a role of utmost importance in your life as they determine your development from the stage of a fertilized egg to the maturity. So from the starting stage of fertilization, from the egg to the matured kid, these genes are the crucial play role. Moreover, genes provide the blueprint and design of your entire being, from your starting childhood to till the death of your day, along with practical implementation. This gives the blueprint and design. This whole process happens at a microscopic level, but it affects your entire life. That's how remarkable and important atoms are. So even we live in normal human being life, 100 years or 200 years, the atoms decides our future, and atoms form together to form a gene, and that gene has the blueprint and design of our life being. How wonderful it is. So atoms are ruling our world. Let us see the lesson number 2. Our evolution in time is based on quantum jumps that mutate the body in a positive way. Charles Darwin promoted a large misconception about evolution. He stated that organisms develop in time by smooth, small changes that occur in a continuous accidental way. Let me repeat this. Organisms develop in time by smooth, small changes that occur in a continuous and accidental way. Unfortunately, this theory proved to be wrong. In fact, evolution takes place in a much different way. Discontinuous changes are called mutations, which are responsible for the evolution of organisms. So how does it all happens? Consider the scientific premise that small systems can only possess a certain amount of energy. To grow their energy levels and thus evolve into a better version, the system must take a huge leap forward or a quantum leap. In this process, there is no intermediary changes, nor a continuous and undergoing development, as Darwin concluded in his statement. Instead, these changes occur almost accidentally and very rarely. What's fascinating about this process is its close resemblance with quantum theory, which states that, remember this powerful statement, atoms attach to each other to form molecules and they form specific configurations. As I have explained in the lesson number 1, atoms attach to each other to form molecules and they form specific configuration. That is how our periodic table came into our existence. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, boron, all these elements came with the help of atoms combining together in different configurations. That is what called quantum theory. Quantum means a group of atoms combined together to form a specific configuration. To break this pattern and form new configurations, they must be brought out to a new temperature, and even so, it can take up to thousands of years for a molecule to do such a jump. Just like in the process of human evolution. So to understand this, let us repeat the same example. Water, ice, and gas. These three things are there in our daily lives. So based on the temperature, if we increase the temperature, ice will become water and water melts to the gases. And if you cool down the temperature, the reverse process happens. In the same way, for one molecule to combine with another molecule, it can take up to thousands of years also for few molecules. Just like in the process of evolution, human evolution also in the same way. As such, the time scale between the quantum theory of molecules and human evolution is the same. Our genes take those infrequent quantum jumps as frequently as molecules do to change their configurations. How fascinating. Let me repeat this. Our genes take those quantum jumps as frequently as molecules do to change their configurations. So while taking birth of this human life, these quantum jumps are going rapidly, and those quantum jumps helps in the formation of gene. How fascinating we are. Let us see the lesson number 3. Consciousness is a remarkable trait of humans and it functions separately from sensations. Consciousness is a trait only humans possess among all living organisms. We have 84 lakh species, different species. Out of them, only human being is the exclusive one who have the trait of consciousness, which we call them as a knowledge also sometimes. Consciousness is the only trait that human being possess. It separates us from the animals and it elevates our organisms significantly. This outstanding mental mechanism helps us survive by producing responses to a large variety of situations and behaviors to match them according to Schrodinger. Of course, involuntary processes like breathing, blinking, eye blinking, or routine processes like brushing teeth are not the responsibility of your active side of the brain. As such, a behavior is considered conscious only if an external force acts upon you. That means if your consciousness is not suggesting you to take the brushing your teeth, it will not act like that. And this external force acts on you and make you change that behavior. This is how our parents train to brush in our teeth from childhood. So not only that, all the activities currently what we are doing, it was given by the external forces only. Might be it seems complicated for you right now. Let's make it so easier. Think about you are walking on the street. Suppose you are walking about on the street. You don't actively think about how to walk. But if suddenly an obstacle pops up, a speed breaker pops up, you are looking for ways to avoid it. That is called active thinking. So that will happen based on the consciousness. Understanding consciousness brings us to one step closer to understanding evolution. Humans evolved because they were interacting with each other and their environments, thus training their minds and elevating their consciousness. Nowadays, the things we learn from an early age weren't even heard of even tens of years back. To advance as a species, humanity's consciousness must always evolve. I hope so 3 lessons are clear. Let me reveal all the 3 lessons again. Atoms behave in a disorderly way until they bond and form special connections, which we call as molecules. The second thing is the human species evolved by making infrequent leaps forward, means random leaps, and mutating itself, means by multiplying themselves. Consciousness is the most elevated mechanisms humans have, and it functions in a remarkable way. This is the main lessons that we can take from What is Life by Erwin Schrödinger. Let me reveal the mind map. Before going for mind map, I want to listen one quote from Sony Antina. Sony, over to you. Share one quotation that you like. Sorry?
Sharing.
Go ahead. You can read one quotation that from your book, whatever you have taken yesterday also.
Oh, okay. That thing. You take other member.
Okay, my quotation is, the way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain. Means you will not get the rainbow until there is a signal of rain. Written by Dolly Parton. The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you need to put up with the rain.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. And mine will be, positive thinkers have a solution for every problem, and negative thinkers have a problem for every solution.
Great, wonderful. Tina, over to you.
Mine is, the only time you fail is when you fall down and stay down.
Great, wonderful. Superb. Let us recollect the top 3 lessons that we have collected again in the form of mind map. These are the top 3 lessons we have seen. So atoms define our world and they function in a remarkable way. Okay. We have seen the example of water, gas, and ice in this. Atoms define our world. With the help of atoms only, we are born, and even our entire life map, our blueprint, our design of our life map decided by those atoms. Our evolution in the time is based on the quantum jumps means the molecules jump from the one quantum to the another molecule and they mutate the body in a positive way. So if the mutation happens in proper manner, then our evolution came from there. And the third lesson is consciousness is a remarkable trait of humans and it functions separately from the sensations. All the animals and all the living beings have their sensations. Only the human beings have the consciousness. So in our case, conclusion is human beings have the consciousness as a trait, only a unique trait. So life is all about consciousness and embrace it with the help of association, which we call it as an association. So how you move with others is the main key lesson that you need to take. So that is all about what is life. See you in another book summary another day. Until then, stay connected, keep progressing.